All right, everyone. So this is the all right. Well, welcome back. Welcome to this video. I split this part of the video from the other reaction video I just did. I wanted this to be its own separate video. This way, for any people who are looking into getting into Leaflit's app, I'm gonna use this opportunity. I'm gonna express some of the frustrations I had and some of the actual things, like the good things I had with the app. I think it's an amazing tool, but it takes a lot of time getting used to. I myself, I am still not used to it. I am still a noob. I'm trying to figure things out. I use the Rfab AI. I've had a lot of issues. Some things worked out really well, but like I said, I'm gonna put this video right here as we dedicated towards the problems I had when using the actual Rfab part AI website with Leaflit's tool. So just enjoy, and yeah, okay. All right, so this is essentially how her AI thing works, right? When you create it, obviously I can't look. I do like the faces. I think it actually turned out quite well. You see, there's a lot of pixelation on the edge. This is actually fine. You actually get rid of that through other means, and go. But honestly, when you actually have it over your background, you really don't notice it. Obviously, it's noticed here because it's brought up just as a web page thing, what it is. But this is what I created, right, with Leaflet's little tool. I think it actually turned out pretty well. So this is what it kind of looks like. So I worked on this here. I did create this right here. And then this is what I got so far with. And keep in mind, I used her tool for the most part, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. After a few trial and errors, I did it. I actually finished a full model with the intro, the idle animation, the talking animation, and an outro animation. I finished all that in like, how many credits did I use? I used maybe about $15 worth of credits, and I finished it. That's actually pretty nice. You know, with a few more dollars, I did actually add in an emote in there, but it's actually pretty nice. That is actually really cheap, and it's super simple. You know, it's a trial and error, and I don't think Rfab is the way to go. Because I have a lot of issues with it. I may go over that in another video. There's a lot of bugs I'm encountering. I actually got frustrated as fuck earlier today. I'll show you some of the emotes actually. So this is one emotion I have right here. Emote. He has a wave. I created all this with Leaflet's tool on using rfab.ai. What was on there. All right, I'll show you next one. That's fine. All right, he's doing a salute. I did, and this is what I'm saying. This is not the original image. The salute. I do like how this turned out. Obviously, if you notice the way I'm actually talking during the salute, I actually do need to go back and fix this to where he's not talking in his salute. And then I added this one here. This is the last emote I added that day. It's a Keikaku thing. So look, it's all going in plan. I did this emote in here, and I had all this working with the program. It worked just fine. It took me quite a few hours, but I was able to get the actual program working, and I did all this. Now, I'm going to show you what I worked on today. I was trying to, and then this is when I got super frustrated with the program. I was trying all kinds of stuff. Obviously, I'm still learning how to do everything, but I'll show you some of the issues I had with this right here. So when I was creating this stuff with Rfab AI, I ran into a few issues. I don't know if you noticed this right here. I don't know if it has anything planned to do with it or not, right? Typically, when you do these, they're like 8 seconds long. For some reason, this one turned out 9 seconds long. But however, I had a few issues. And when I was using Rfab AI, the issue I run into this. It worked on the website. It was fine. But if you notice right here, it just it froze. It fucked up. I think the image when it generated the actual image, I think it was too big on the web on the actual web page for it, and it couldn't load my browser. So it fucked up when it downloaded, and the reason why this is what pissed me off so much, right? I'm trying to go back on Rfab AI. I'm trying to recover this animation because it actually played on there fine at one point. It went just fine. It played. I cannot go back into my history and re-download this. So mind you, I generated it. So what is going on in this animation is that the character pulls something out. He pulls something out somewhere. Out his wrist. I'm not sure what it is, but anyways, he pulls out the device. He's tinkering around with it, and he teleports. I generated this so many times. I was like, oh wow, I finally got one, and it finally worked. It came out just like how I wanted. I was like, perfect. This is great. But it fucked up. I'm out. However many tokens I spent on that AI thing, they're gone. They're in it. They're in the ether. I can't get it back. It sucks. I've had a few other problems with R5 AI that I actually had 2 of my submissions get blocked when generating stuff for the character model. And the prompt for when I did it on it was so weird. If I remember saying, actually, you know what? I did. I actually saved it on a Discord message. I sent it to people. I said, why did this prompt get blocked? So this is the prompt I used. So Gemini Omni Flash, I said, look, the idea was obviously my character is a reference from Mobile Suit Gundam. I'm a huge fan of Gundam. The idea was a cable was supposed to come above my character. It comes down, I grab a hold of the cable, and it hoists me up out of the actual thing, right? It carries me out of the screen. It's one of my things I was going to use, and then I was like, you know, I'll explain it. So a long cable from above drops down, and the character grabs a hold of it and then pulls them up out of the screen. This is the prompt. And I changed the text on this prompt a little bit, but for some reason it says your prompt was blocked by Google's content policy. Try a different model for this content. Now look, typically I've used Higgs fields before. I've used other AI things before. When this usually happens, you usually get a refund for your prompt. I didn't get a refund for this prompt. And I want you to look right here. So this thing that I used, ignore where it says away BRB. 60,000 tokens. I lost 120,000 tokens. And if you don't know, if you're like, well, how many is 6,000 tokens? Rfab AI, you can pay $10 and get 500,000 tokens. Right? I did this twice because it blocked and it fucked up. Boom. I'm out of 120,000 tokens. I mean, shit happens, right? That's like almost 20%. Oh, the tokens I just bought. I lost the tokens. I can't get them back. Look, it's not that much money. It really isn't. I'm not fucking super upset about it, but it was frustrating because I'm like, damn, dude, why is it fucking blocking for it? I'm like, and it's not, I'm not upset that it blocked it. I was more upset, wow, why did I didn't get a refund for the tokens. So it's weird. Maybe it's a bug in it. I don't know why it works that way, but it did. But yeah, let's see. Let's go back. So after I worked on this right here, and then I was like, you know, I want to make some cool things. So the idea, the plan was, if the thing was coming in the air, I grab a hold of the hoist, it moves me out of the screen, right? And then I was going to come back in a mobile suit. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of mobile suits. So this is what I had. This is what came up with the idea. I think the idea was cool, and this is pretty nice. So I created this right here. I did this today. It took me a while to figure this, work this out. So this is the idle animation I created for the mobile. It's a Mars, if in case you don't know, right? in my character screen. And then I had the speaking animation play. Obviously, I'm still new to this. I figured it all out. I think honestly, it came out pretty well, right? And this is another thing I got pissed off. This is when I really got pissed off, right? Because at the time I didn't know the other thing was bugged, but look what happens. It freezes. I don't know why it did that, but it's a little buggy. Yeah, not it's just a little buggy, but thankfully, and I would have been super pissed, but thankfully, I did download this at the time. So, and there's no way for me to go back and get the other generations I did on Rfab AI. I'm not sure why the case, because a few days when I first did it, first time, my gens are actually up there. I actually could have went back and re-downloaded them, but for some reason, they disappeared. I'm not able to gain access to them anymore. But this is what it's supposed to look like. So you can see the idea. I had an idea. Her program, if you get it to work, it's amazing. Actually, it's super fucking fun. And if you're not careful, it's kind of addicting, you know? But like I said, it's an alpha stage. It could use some more work. But as always, everyone, have a good one and peace out.